What's up, Goober? Do you feel like you're two different people? One day, you're absolutely killing it, you're having a ton of impact, you're making all the right decisions, and you're getting the kills that you should be getting. And then, the very next day, you just can't hit a shot to save your life, you make all the wrong decisions, and you're unable to play the way that you want to play. Or even you feel wappy and great during warm-up, but just 10 minutes later, you're whiffing easy shots in-game. To be honest and somewhat vulnerable with you, consistency has been a big problem for me recently. I have 5,000 hours in Counter-Strike. I was top 1,000 in North American Face-It just a couple months ago, and now I've plummeted to my lowest in a long time at 2,260 elo. So in trying to solve my own problems, I've done some research and I've found some answers that have really helped me, and I'm sure they're going to help you too. But before we jump in, thank you to SkinsMonkey for sponsoring this video. SkinsMonkey is a trusted automated CS2 trading site. It's super easy to use. All you have to do is pick something in your inventory, check how much it's worth, and then go get something new from the monkey. What's also super nice is the filters you can use to narrow down your searches. You can either use your skins to trade for new ones or deposit money with their 30% bonus offer. This becomes 35% when you use my code Wilson. Please use it. Using my code, you can also get up to $5 for free. Use my code Wilson, link is in the description. Let me ask you, is your inconsistency mechanical or mental? This can be a difficult question to answer confidently, but if you're consistently inconsistent, then it's highly likely that the answer is mental. Mechanical inconsistency is easier to diagnose and easier to address. The solution is often very straightforward, that being targeted practice. If your sprays have been terrible, then you can do 20 minutes of recoil trainer a day, right? Easy. However, when the entirety of your game feels inconsistent, your decision making, your positioning, your mechanics that should be good because you practice them every single day, then this is a clear indicator that it's not your practice nor your mechanical capabilities that are causing this inconsistency, but instead your mental. Okay, so we've identified that a pattern of inconsistency is likely due to your mental game. But what are those mental blocks that are causing it? Much of what I'm going to tell you about is from a sports psychologist named Eli Straw, who makes some really great videos on YouTube, which I highly recommend you check out. Similar to a mechanical problem, we need to identify exactly what it is that's holding us back with our mental. There are three very common mental blocks that'll hold you back from performing. And when I describe these, I really want you to reflect or think critically about how these affect you while you're playing, because maybe it's just one, or maybe, like me, you identify with all three of them. Number one, anxiety. That pressure to succeed. You may get thoughts about, what if I lose? What will happen to my elo? And then what does that say about me? If I don't play well in front of my friends or even in front of the randoms on my team, will they judge me for it? Have you ever been scared to click the Q button because you fear what's going to happen if you lose the game? Anxiety yanks your thoughts away from the practical, how do we win this round? What should I do in this situation? Type thinking, and instead pulls it towards anxious thoughts that ruin your consistency. Number two, fear of failure. Making mistakes when you're practicing, whether you're whiffing shots in DM or you make a dumb mistake in a competitive game that you don't care about, is totally fine. In your head, the stakes are low, so who gives a crap? But the moment you get into a game that you care about, failure is all of a sudden at the front of your mind. So instead of focusing on the actual gameplay like you do when you practice, you instead focus on the outcomes that describe whether you failed or not. This could be your KD or your ADR or the rounds won versus lost. This fear of failure really restricts what you can do in-game because you become much more risk averse. In a game where playing aggressively would easily win it or peaking with confidence would get you a ton of kills, instead you're forced into playing passively by this fear of failure and playing in a way that you wouldn't normally play when you're confident. Number three, poor focus. There are so many more distractions presented to you when you play a game versus when you practice. Whether it be your teammates or your opponents or your own cooked Zoomer brain that forces you to watch Instagram Reels after every death. I'm talking about myself here. I know you know somebody like this, or maybe you are this person yourself, somebody who focuses so much on their teammates or their opponents. Oh, my teammates are so stupid. Why do they do this and this and this? My opponents are so weird. Why are they doing that? This person's focus is dragged away from them onto things that are completely external to them, things they can't control at all. Anxiety, fear, poor focus. Now you should have a good idea of the problem or problems that are ruining your consistency. And at the heart of all three problems are thoughts. So here are 3 solutions on how to fix your thoughts that will improve your consistency. Now, if you've spent your time watching me yap for this long and you haven't subscribed yet, I think this would be a good time to do it, okay, buddy? Okay, firstly, you need to recognize when one or more of these mental blocks is happening. And once you do, you need to get your thinking back on track. One way to do this is with positive self-talk, which Eli provides us a little list for. I understand that telling yourself, I am confident in my skills, feels kind of corny and stupid, but it's not even about the words themselves. It's about derailing those negative thoughts and resetting your mental onto what matters. The second way you can overcome these issues is through visualization. To help you understand the power of visualization, here's a clip of Michael Phelps describing his process.
So for me, like when I would visualize, I visualize every single, getting up to a meet, I would visualize probably a month or so in advance, just of what could happen, what I want to happen, and what I don't want to happen. Because when it happened, I was prepared for it.
For me, a lot of this visualization occurs before a round begins. I think about, okay, I'm gonna make a little plan, and then with that plan, what are my teammates doing? What can the opponents do, and how would I respond to that? Another way to use visualization effectively is before you peek an angle. This preps your mind and prepares you into, I'm actually going to take a fight here by kind of pretending in your mind that you are. The third solution to fix your mental and to improve your consistency comes from this TED Talk done by Dan Hagen, where he describes the term shame resilience. Your self-worth, your confidence has to come from something. And I assume for a lot of you, this comes from your rank or your elo, or even on a smaller scale, it can come from the number of kills you have in a given match. If I have 15 kills in 10 rounds, I'm going to be feeling really good and really confident. But if I have 5 kills in 10 rounds, then I might be lacking confidence. The issue is that these things are out of your control. Yes, you do have influence over winning games and you have influence over the number of kills you get, but basing your confidence off of these things will inevitably lead to inconsistency because these outcomes are not predictable. The simple truth is that you are going to be wildly inconsistent if your confidence and your self-worth is based off of short-sighted outcomes. So instead of basing your confidence off of your performance, base it off of your approach, your preparation, or the hundreds or thousands of matches of experience that you've had prior to this one game that you're playing. The last thing I want to mention, because this has helped me greatly, is that you should stop focusing on outcomes. And I've mentioned that many times throughout this video, right? Winning, losing, elo, kills, deaths, whatever. Focusing on outcomes leads you down the path of inconsistency. Instead, focus on the process. Focus on the controllables, the thing you actually can control to make those outcomes possible. If I go into match thinking, I want to get 20 kills this match, what does that even do for me? Nothing. If I go into a match thinking, I'm going to really focus on my crosshair placement, I'm going to be really decisive in this game, that is actually tangible and something I can do that will help me achieve that outcome that I want. It's such a, I don't know, maybe it's dumb, but for me, it's such an aha moment, realizing that focusing on outcomes more often than not has a super negative and detrimental impact on your gameplay. So focus on the process as much as you can. Focus on the things that you can control. Focus on the tangible skills that you're using in your game. The reading and video watching I did concerning this subject has certainly helped me, and I hope it's helped you too. Thank you to my channel members here on YouTube. They're scrolling on by somewhere. They allow me to be a goober on the internet, and they support me. Please do consider becoming a member. We play 10 mans every weekend, and there's a ton of members-only content right there for the watching. Have a great day, and good luck and have fun in all of your future games. Peace.